So when I was a sophomore in high school, I had this teacher who would only let the students in her class use the restroom one time per semester. Well, one day I raised my hand and I was like, excuse me, I don't remember her name, can I please use the restroom? And she was like, no you can't because you've already used the restroom in my class this semester. Well, excuse me, you can't dictate my bladder. So I'm like all frustrated, and I started secretly texting my mom because I wasn't allowed to use my phone in class. And I was like, Mom, I'm sitting in class right now, my teacher won't let me use the restroom. And she was like, I'll take care of it for you. And I was like, okay. So like 5 minutes goes by, and all of a sudden my teacher's phone starts ringing. And she walks up to it and answers it, and she's like, hello? Yeah. Okay, thank you. And then she walks up to me like so angry and she like slams the pass on my desk and she was like, since you have to go that bad. And I was like, yeah, I really do. Thanks. And I got up and left. I didn't even have to go to the bathroom. It was just the principle of it. I just roamed the halls.
Back with another Get Ready With Me. Today we're going to be doing the iconic James Charles's bubbly look. We're going to start off this look by adding some eye primer and doing these eyelids first. First, we are dipping into our baby blue, then applying it to our eyelid. Now purple, then your lid, the pink, and again, the lid. Now that we've wiped off all the old primer, it's time to apply a new cut crease. Now that we've cut our crease, I'm going to press white shadow all over my lid. Now we're going to apply some white eyeliner. Now for some black eyeliner. Also, don't mind my voice, I'm a wee bit sick. Now contouring with the purple. Applying the blue, pink, some highlight. Time to draw our bubbles. Once all the bubbles are drawn, fill them. Now that the bubbles are filled, we're going to outline them. Adding the last details. And this is the completed look. Thanks for watching. Until next time, Get Ready With Me Clown Edition. First, we're going to start by gluing up these eyebrows. And I'm not too sure what to call her if you guys want to help me out with the name. Next, begin painting your face. And yes, I am using just a regular paintbrush that I got from the craft store. Then beat your face with some powder. Once you're done beating your face, put red eyeshadow all around your eye. You can use any red, but I'm using the James Charles. Now we're just filling in the lines that we've sketched. Once all the lines are filled, we're going to take some red eyeshadow and just blend over top. After adding some details, we're going to add some red to our nose. Now I'll draw some more lines. Lastly, fill this with red to do the finishing touches. And this is the completed look. Thanks for watching. Until next time, back with another Get Ready With Me. I'm not too sure what to call this one, but it's going to be purpley and pink with glitters. If you guys want to help me out, the first thing we're going to do for this look is base our chest with the white. Now that we're all based up, we're going to use this gorgeous palette. We're splashed with a bunch of different colors. Now just drawing just the design thing on my chest with Anastasia's eyeliner. And just more designs. And more designs. Now, time for the white. Now that we added the white, it's time to add more details. Now I'm adding these sticky little eye things so I don't get eyeshadow all over my face. Eye primer. And what we do to one side, we must do to the other. Time to take these off. Now we're done. This is the completed look. Thanks for watching. Until next time.
Party story time. Okay, so I went to a party and I showed up there super early because I'm literally that person. Anyways, I was talking to the guy throwing the party and I'm like, yeah, I'm not feeling it. I don't really want to drink. Yes, I'm literally the lamest person alive. Anyways, he's like, okay, do you want a bottle of vodka? Boy, I just told you I didn't want to drink. And he's like, no, like an empty one you can fill up with water and pretend you're drinking. And I'm like, you're a genius. So I do just that. And I walk around the party drinking out of this bottle of vodka that actually has water in it. People literally thought it was legendary. They thought I was getting so drunk. So basically at this point I was lying to everybody at the party. So anyways, I get thirsty, so I step outside and start chugging this bottle of vodka that's actually water. And I look to my left, and there's this girl literally staring at me. comment for part 2. Extremely creepy story time on how my aunt passed away. So a little background information. About 5 years ago, my aunt had gotten pregnant. It was really weird because a few months before she got pregnant, the doctor told her that she would never be able to have kids. And her husband had been trying for years. Well, I think like 2 weeks after the baby was born, it had passed away. And I don't really know why. For some reason, my mom won't tell me. Which is weird, but anyways, after that, my aunt just felt like a lot of things weren't going the way that she wanted them to in her life. So she decided to get closer with God. Well, every Sunday night, we go to my grandparents' house for a family dinner. And while we were there, my aunt starts going on this whole rampage. She said that God's not giving her the answers that she needs, and I don't really know what she means by answers. So my grandparents kick her out because she's acting like a psycho. Well, the same night at 3 a.m. in the morning, we hear a knocking on the door. And lo and behold, it's my aunt. So my mom lets her in because she feels bad and feels like she's the only one that will actually listen to my aunt. So she makes everybody sit at the kitchen table. And she pulls out a Ouija board from her bag, like for part 2.
By the way, if you'd really like to know, he went that way.
Who did?
The white rabbit.
He did?
He did what?
Went that way.
Who did?
The white rabbit.
What rabbit?
But didn't you just say, oh dear.
Can you stand on your head? However, if I were looking for a white rabbit, I'd ask the Mad Hatter.
Mad Hatter? No, I don't...
Or there's the March Hare in that direction.
Thank you. I think I should visit him.
The first thing I did was apply my brows off camera, but next I'm going to apply my foundation. Now that we have all this foundation, it's time to apply it. Fun fact about me, my name's actually Treasure. But I've never met any other treasures before, so where are my treasures at? I know you're out there. Now I'm drawing these red weird line things. Next, start shaping out your face. So this is the general shape that I'm looking for. Next, we're gonna begin painting. We're done painting, time to draw the details. The deets are done, time to shade. We're shading. This is the completed look. Thanks for watching. Until next time.
So when I was about 5 or 6, I had a best friend named Maggie who lived next door. We would always go outside and play together. One day around dinner time, we saw a little girl around our age staring at us on the side of another nearby house. She was extremely pale and wearing a white dress. We would see her for days on end in the exact same dress. And as soon as we would yell for her to come play with us, she would run around to the front of her house. One day, we finally decided to chase after her. As soon as we rounded the corner to her front yard, she was gone. Like, she had literally disappeared. When we were walking back, we noticed a pile of dirt next to our house. In the dirt was written K-A-R-A with a stick next to it. We just assumed she was shy and wrote her name out for us, Kara. The next day, we saw her again and started yelling, Kara, Kara, wait! We ran after her again, rounded the corner, and saw this old couple doing yard work in our front yard. We assumed that they were Kara's parents. So we asked them, hey, where's your daughter Kara? And they were like, that's not funny. And we were like, no, seriously, we've been seeing her every night. We just wanted to know if she wanted to come play with us. The old man looked at us and said, our daughter Kara got hit by a truck and died 30 years ago in front of this house.
This girl literally lived a nightmare. A 17-year-old girl was watching TV late at night when her motion detector lights in her driveway suddenly went on. She assumed it was just an animal, so she got up, drew the blinds, and went back to watching TV. Then a little bit later, it happened again. Before she could even react, she looks over and clearly makes out a silhouette of a person right behind the blinds who starts banging aggressively on the window. The girl stands up and goes, I'm gonna call the cops! And the figure stops for just a second, sprints to the side door and starts pounding even louder on that, screaming incoherently. The girl runs to the bathroom, barricades herself inside while she waits for the police, and then her worst nightmares come true. She hears glass shatter in the other room. After a few minutes of silence, she opens her door just a crack to get a peek outside, and standing in her living room next to a broken window is some crazy old woman who looks over at her and starts sprinting toward her. The lady comes smashing into the door and starts wailing on it until the police arrive and take her away. She was a lunatic who had escaped her facility.
My sister and I have always been mistaken as twins. I'm 19 and she's 16, but we have the same height, skin tone, and similar voice. She also has a habit of being a copycat, from the way I dress to hobbies, even piercings. I know it's cute if you look at it from the outside, but sometimes it gets annoying. Like, yeah, we are quite close too, but why does she always happen to pick up everything I pick up? One afternoon, I was tidying up some costumes in my college showroom and found a rather cute brown and pink wig. It looks like a mushroom. I put it on, think it looks rather funny, so I snapped a picture and posted it to my Instagram. I received a text from my sister asking if I really cut my hair. I didn't mention it was a wig. While I somewhat have a feeling that she might copy that too, I lied and replied yes. I came home that weekend and lo and behold, my sister emerged with the same silly brown and pink bob cut, except this one is on her permanent hair. She was surprised that I arrived with my hair still long, then realized that I lied to her. She was furious that she had to cut that silly hairstyle because she thought I had it. Our parents think that it's a really bad joke and wanted me to cut my hair too to make it up to her. So am I the asshole for telling my sister I cut my hair when I really didn't?
And we're back with another Get Ready With Me. The first thing we're doing is gluing our brows like so. Once all glued down, it's setting time. The first thing we're going to do after setting our brows is start drawing the outline. So put your pencil like this. Make sure it's in line with your pupil and just draw a line. Once you get that first line, time to do the second line. Don't forget to mark. And the same thing for over here. Now just connect dots. Now that we've connected the dots to this triangle, time to do this triangle. Now the triangles are all drawn out, we're gonna add some latex. Up in here, up in here. Make sure to let the latex dry before doing anything to it. Once the latex is halfway dry, apply the wax. Once you've applied the wax, smudge it down. Then just repeat the process for the other sides. Once you're done with one, cover it in latex. Blend, blend, blend. And this is the completed look. Thanks for watching. Till next time.
Okay, story time. So I work at a jewelry store, and today a man came in looking for a gift for his wife for their 10th year anniversary. He ended up picking out a piece that said, "My beautiful wife." And I said, "Anything else for you today?" And he said, "No, that's it for her, but I do want to make another purchase using a separate credit card. And could you possibly create a different account for me?" And I said, "Sure, what are you looking for?" And he said, "Do you have anything that says girlfriend?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Perfect, I'll take it. And do you have anything that says happy 1 year anniversary to go with it?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Perfect, I'll take it." So I boxed everything up all nice and I put them in their respected bags. He had me mark a K for Kristen on the bottom of his wife's bag and an L for Laura on the bottom of his girlfriend's bag. I put pretty bows on them. I handed it to him. I said, "They're gonna love it. Have a nice day." And he said, "Thank you." And shit, I just remembered that his wife's name is Laura and his girlfriend's name is Kristen. I must have mixed up the bags. Oops.
All you gotta do is say my name.